Clubby has just got back from riding from Melbourne to Sydney on the CF Moto 800, is it, Clubby?
800 MT Explore
Right.
is the new designation. Top shelf, top of the line, new variant in the 800 MT.
So normally we both have a bike and we ride, and we just couldn't do it this time. And so you're not going to get any vision of the actual riding, but you are hot. You are still in the gear. You got back literally minutes ago. The engine's still hot,
Yes.
and you've done a truckload of kilometres over 2 days. So mate, let's download. Let's get it in the bag in terms of what you think about this bike. But you got to start. I tell you what, everyone's interested in. This is called Value Adventure, and tell me what it's got for the price.
Okay, so let's talk about the price.
Yeah.
$16,490 Australian, right away. All your dealer freight, palaver, rego, everything's in there.
Oh,
all right, so 16.5 grand. So on everything I'm about to blurb on about, you got to keep coming back to that point. It's a $16,500 motorcycle, and you're exactly right. It does have everything. I've been calling it the Chinese buffet. All you can eat. Sang choy bao meats, Peking duck meats, all of that. It's just got everything, Dave. And like, honestly, mate, tell me where to start, mate, because you pick point anywhere on this bike, there's something to talk about.
All right. Well, for me, when I'm just looking at it, like that price is amazing just for flat. But then I'm seeing crash bars, I'm seeing driving lights, I'm seeing pannier racks.
Yep.
I'm seeing a decent bash plate. Oh, well, hang on a minute. Centre stand.
Yep.
Mate.
Rear rack, pillion grab handles, low seat height.
TFT screen. Look at that.
And it's not just any TFT screen. It's an 8-inch multimedia platform.
Crap.
And I'm going to fire that up for you in a minute and just show you. Because, mate, it is. It's like riding behind an iPad all the way up the Hume Highway this afternoon coming home. Everything's there. Cruise controls over there.
Yeah.
The switchgear. There's a bit of switchgear on the left side.
Yeah.
It's backlit as well, standard.
Yeah.
It's just got everything, mate. Adjustable windscreen. Turn the knobs either side. Up and down it goes. Right. You mentioned the crash bars. You mentioned the driving lights. 19-inch front wheel. 17-inch rear.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they come with Michelin tyres as standard.
Right.
I got all excited when I read, Michelin Anarchies. But they're the soft Anarchies, not the Anarchy Wilds that I like, which I would have wished at times in the last 3 days that I had the Wilds on with a block knobby on it. But that's what they come with standard like that. You mentioned the bash plate. Fuel capacity is 19.2 litres. Fuel usage average just on 20 kilometres per litre. So you're going to get 380 kilometres out of the tank for average riding range.
Wow.
Seat height is low. I can't remember the seat height.
Get on it.
But it is low.
Get on it for us.
Both feet flat on the ground for me.
All right. So before we get into all the fandangles and that, we'll do the basics. So just stand there. Look at that.
That's it. I got both feet on the floor.
Clubby's 178 centimetres tall. He's the same height as me. And you look very comfortable. So, God, give me a...
Mind the hardware, Dave. Mind the hardware.
Sorry, mate. I just ran into his car. Okay, let's get into Ergos. Tell me about the Ergos. So how many Ks did you ride?
Okay, so I left Melbourne Thursday midday. It's now Saturday 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I've done 1,271 kilometres in those 2.5 days.
Wow.
The thing is super comfortable.
Right.
It is a low seat height. Everybody go and look it up, mate, because it's so low.
Yeah, I can see it.
And it's funny, like only tonight coming home from, we popped back onto the Hume Highway just north of Goulburn.
Yeah.
So the last 2.5 hours riding, I've been sitting down the whole time, just chomping up the freeway, just starting to feel that the seat height is, like, I would say, a little too low for me to sit all day.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you go from seated to standing, and the standing ergos are really, really good.
Right.
Super comfortable for me. It's a high-rise bar.
Yep.
It's got a bit of sweep back, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just like I could stand up on it all day long.
Wow.
It's just for comfort, you know, like in that regard.
Now, screen, Clubby. How did it go? Any
okay.
Buffeting? Tell me about buffeting.
Down in the low position, not buffeting, wind noise. So then when I left Melbourne, I just put it up into the high position.
Yeah.
And that's been perfect for me. Then at my height, when I'm seated, I can just, the air was going over me.
Wow.
It was one of the quietest rides I've had in a long time, just by having the screen up in the high position. And it still is well away from that there, any risk there, for when I was off-roading.
Yeah. So you took it on a bit of off-road?
Oh, absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
And you know what I was crying about the whole time I was off-road? When I'm like this, I'm looking down, and I throw my line out again, when you're looking down on grease, and I just watch that front tyre profile. And it's like, to use my old line, it's perfectly round and smooth like Uncle Fester's head. And every time I'd look down there, and I just, if only, what would I pay for a set of knobs, you know? Yeah. Because it's brilliant. It's a really great road bike, and the tyres suit that application, of course. Yeah. And the ride we did, you've done it, a lot of it with me.
Yes, right.
Like the Victorian side of it, coming up to Whitfield, all around the edge of the high country there. Like, there's just myriads of tracks everywhere. Yeah. And it's been the weirdest 3 days. Yeah. I've ridden on so much wet ground, but I've never been rained on. So I've been behind the weather, a day behind the weather anywhere. Wow. And so the tyres were limiting each time I got onto. And you know what all those pine forests where I'm talking about down near Whitfield are like. We had the KLR 650s there. Yeah. It's just red grease. Yeah. And, mate, so tyres would have helped it for sure. And a 21-inch front would have helped it there as well, being a little bit narrower, etc. But anyway, that's not what it is. This is what it is the spec it's in now.
Okay, so let's just keep following for Ergos for a moment. Does it have heated grips with it for that price?
Heated grips for sure. And come and feel my backside. Heated seat as well, mate.
Heated seat.
And you know what's unreal? Like, I've had cold weather down south, cold morning starts and cold evening finishes. Yeah. Just the benefit of having warm hands and a warm backside.
Oh, mate, it's huge.
It's just huge. Unreal, mate. Just fabulous, So that's included as well. Yeah.
God. So so rear seat for pillion passenger.
Yeah, pillion seat up there, king queen set up like this. Yeah. There's other optional seat heights available. I remember reading about.
And when you're sitting on it, that looks a little bit cramped.
That's what I'm just saying. Now tonight I've had 3 hours sitting, coming home, and I just started to feel it. Whereas the 2 days prior, I'm up down all through the day, going from tar to dirt, and didn't have such a long tarmac section to be seated. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about the engine.
Familiar KTM 790 power plant, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Basically derived from that. And there's similarities. Now, the other thing it's not shy on power. No. It's got over 90 horsepower in standard trim, which is a lot more than other similar capacity or near capacity twin cylinder adventure bikes. Yeah. And it's not shy. It goes fine, mate. Absolutely goes fine.
So on the 790, if I remember when we tested it, at around 4,000 revs, it got a bit fluffy, and there's this kind of transition between 4 and like there was a kind of a not hesitation, but there was a definite difference. It wasn't as strong. Like the 890, for example, is just full.
Yeah, it's smooth. It goes smooth. Just keeps driving and powering.
It's the same 790.
It's the same but different.
Right, okay.
If that makes sense, okay? Yeah. And what everyone that's watching this video, the first question they're going to say, Clubby, what's the fueling like? Because the first model had fueling. It was more than fluffy, mate. I remember writing that the first time I picked it up from the test when I wrote that for the magazine, the first roundabout, the damn thing nearly fired me across the centre line. Yeah. Because it was really that rough. Yeah. Mate, the good news is this is so much better when it comes to fueling. Right. The only thing I'll pick about the fueling, and I'll get to answer your question in a second, but what I'll pick about the fueling is a constant 1/8 throttle in 3rd and 4th gears, which translates to about trying to sit on a constant 50 or 60 kilometres an hour,
Yeah.
like when you come back into a town after being out in the boonies for ages,
Yeah.
it's not jerky, it's not even fluffy, but you can just tell it could just be a 15th better.
Yeah.
But I don't want everyone to go and say, oh, the fueling's still crap on it. It's not. It's
no,
so
moved
much
on.
better.
Yeah.
But then, to get to answer your comment that you just made about the Kato 790,
Yeah.
this one, it just has this whopping great kick in the backside at 5,500 RPM.
Yeah.
So you get
Okay.
through that little 3,500, it's not even a hiccup. I don't want people saying,
it's not a hiccup.
It's not, it's just not as smooth as other bikes.
No, it's a quick transition.
That's it.
Isn't
But
it?
then,
So,
and then it's nice and clean. And then I'm not putting a negative either on the 5,500 RPM because it's just the throttle bodies are opening and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's got multiple more ride modes now than ever that are appreciably different between each one.
Yep.
And in the sport, which is the main road mode, the thing just goes then from 5,500, and then on this dash, which we'll get to that in a minute, you get to 7,000 revs. The red line is marked at 8,000.
Yeah.
At 7, the dash just starts. It's got big red bars across the top and bottom saying, shift me up. And you kind of don't want to. You want to, it'll keep making, it's still making power, no problem. But it's similar but different, Dave,
Okay.
in that regard. But it's not short on power.
Yeah.
Like, don't undersell it, oh, it's a Chinese bike, it'll be, no, it's got power.
Yeah.
It's got power.
Okay, let's talk about suspension. I'm noticing there's a bit of adjustment
There's
on the
adjustment
top.
front and rear.
Right.
And I haven't even touched it, mate.
Yeah.
It's just been absolutely fine.
Yep.
Like on road, it's super comfortable. I've probably pushed the rear end towards bottoming. Like the adjustments there, it's Kayaba, I'm pretty certain.
Right.
Suspension.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot of travel, as much travel as other brands.
Right.
Okay, so again, that's maybe you ride to that.
Yeah.
Off road. On road, absolutely fine and dandy, mate. And it's sweet. It's handling corner. It's a nice road bike.
Right.
Super nice road bike, and a more than capable adventure dirt bike as well.
Yeah, so you can push it. You can push it in the dirt reasonably quickly.
Yeah, you're limited by the tyres, mate. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
limited me. It wasn't the suspension that was the limitation. It was that front tyre.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
You're talking about this a lot more enthusiastically than the
Absolutely.
previous one.
Yeah, but it is. And the best thing is, and this was why I was so keen, when I contacted CF Moto, because I think this is literally one of the very first out of a crate assembled, PD'd and ready for promotional use. I said, right, I'll be there in 2 weeks' time, come down to Melbourne, let me ride it home to Sydney for a real world evaluation. Yep, come and do it, Clubby.
Yeah.
And away we went with it, mate. Yeah, absolutely. No, it is. And it all comes back to that price butt, Dave. It's still, everything, every thought process with this bike comes right back to 16.5 grand right away.
Gee, that's competitive.
Oh, it's more than competitive,
I
mate.
can't
Crikey,
see
it is.
anything like that.
If that, where's the CF, the badge?
Yeah.
If that was a more renowned, recognisable name, people would be going off their nana. But if it was that brand, it wouldn't be this price.
It'd be 29.
Well, for all the fruit that's on it,
It'd be 29.
It'd be way up there.
Yeah, it'd be
it would
approaching
be way
30
up there for sure.
For that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard you so enthusiastic about, we have a history with this bike. We've ridden them before, and it's that much of a difference. Like you're really...
Yeah, but I think now they've thrown all this tech at it. But then what I want to also, as I've obviously been thinking of riding home or riding the last 3 days, there's caveats with the tech.
Right.
Okay, so yes, it's got 6 ride modes now.
Right.
And you're, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so your base ones are sport for road, rain for rain, of course.
Yeah.
Then off-road.
Yeah.
Then you've got after that off-road plus.
Yes.
And then after that you've got all-terrain. Oh, what's this all-terrain all about? Then you've got all-terrain plus as well. Wow. And each of the 4, sport, rain, off-road, all-terrain, has differing personalities, shall we say, in the power delivery.
Right.
When you then get into the plus versions of off-road and all-terrain, that's when the traction control and the ABS then become switchable.
Right, okay.
Or switch offable is more the expression.
Okay.
but which is fabulous.
Yeah.
And I ended up in the way that the electronics are set up on the bike, and we'll come over and I'll show you the dash in a second. This is what I'm saying about the caveats. It has its way of working.
Yes.
Which is maybe 1 or 2 generations behind the latest ways that other brands work.
Because the latest, the brands that we regard as, in terms of more expensive, their language is very simple and you get to things almost intuitively. This isn't. They've still got their language.
You've read my mind.
Okay, they still haven't got their language sorted.
And like the tech is all there, and again, it could be easier to access, quicker to access. The first thing is you've got to be stopped.
Oh no. Okay.
All right. You've got to be stopped to be able to go through all the electronic tech.
But I mean, if you're in the outback and you're chugging along, it's not going to kill you.
No, indeed, it's not.
Gee, Clubby, this looks like this is like one of those. Hang on, let's just count.
Is that what you're
1,
saying?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 buttons. Is that illuminated?
Yes, it is. So that's
illuminated.
Yeah, backlit switchgear as well.
God.
So to drive and you get messages like this. That it's the safety warnings, and the thing about this is it's a touch screen as well.
All right. Okay. With gloves, works all right.
Works fine with my gloves, and any finger, not the one that's got the special coating anywhere.
Yeah.
To drive all that, there's a function button, and then the star button here. CF Moto's in their literature describe it as an app. The app button, and that's the other whole side of the electronics on this, mate. It's got everything, all the CarPlay, audio, navigation, link to your phone.
Wow.
It's got there's a CF Moto app that you can download that then you record your rides. And you can utilise that then as a security system with the bike to be able to track where the bike is.
Wow.
As well, and like all of this tech, but driving it, so... The way that there's 2 ways to be doing it. The function key will bring up a number of options up here on the top of the screen, only briefly. See how quickly it lasts?
I saw that there.
So on here, this one's set up, you can go from sport to rain to off-road, but you've got to stop before it will activate.
Now,
but then there's only the 3 there. Where's off-road plus? Where's all-terrain? Where's all-terrain plus?
Right.
So that was doing my head in to start with. I'm thinking, what am I missing?
Yeah.
You go over to the app button, but hang on, to get the app, now this is another part of it. To get the app part working, we've got to have the motor running. Right, press and hold that. Right, we've got that up. Now this whole app side here, press down on here, will bring up your Apple CarPlay, G-Foot, media, blah, blah, blah. But to get into the bike settings, press settings, and then you've got 5 different options there. That one is to set the bike. These are safety features. Because there's more that we still haven't got to. But then go to vehicle, bang! Oh, there's all the modes.
Right.
All right, but keep watching. And I really like the all-terrain plus. So you've got to be stationary, select it. Now watch the message. Front and rear ABS is off. I understand. You've got to almost sign the indemnity, isn't it? And then that then will put it into all-terrain play.
And then you go, I understand that I now don't have...
I don't have any ABS on the front and rear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but there you go, you can see it there now.
You need there's a lot of fiddling to get to what you want.
And the bike is actually old school again, the old school way. It's supplied with a manual. It's buried in the bag. You even get a little toolkit under the pillion seat there, you know. Good. So cool, but then it's the language in the manual is very. It's just limited. A lot more could be said to explain these kind of things. But I mean, it's all there. But you've just got to. It's like I said when I said before. You have caveats with the tech in terms of how you work the tech. And then the other tech that we haven't even touched on is come around, bring the camera right back around here. Yeah. And there is the little radar sensor.
Oh, you're kidding me. That's
you're
a great
thinking Ducati Multistrada $40,000 package. All right, so this little beast, It's got rear collision sensing.
Wow.
And it's got blind spot detection, lane change assist.
That is such a safety feature.
And it is, like as I said, the last 3 hours steaming up the Hume Highway.
Yeah.
And so the way that this one will work is that on either side of the screen here, when there's a vehicle, and it's super accurate, it'll shine bright yellow on this side if there's a vehicle next to you on there. So it's not on the mirror like the Ducati.
No.
So that means the mirror is much cheaper to replace on the CF Moto if you bust one compared to one on the Ducati. And then I've had the rear collision sensor go off twice. And you get a little, I found there's a red bar comes up across the bottom of the old iPad up here on the dash. And you get a beep, 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 beep. And like we were coming out of the forest today, and good old Decimal, bless his cotton socks, I've come up to the Tina section. He comes charging up because he wants to tap me on the shoulder to tell me he needs another piss for the fifth time in an hour. And he's come up right close, and all of a sudden the bike's beeping its head off, and I'm thinking, what's going on? You know, and it was just, that was the rear collision sensor going off. And then sometimes when you do a close lane change in the traffic, if you're filtering, it'll also beep as well, mate, to give you an audible warning.
I cannot get over the tech on this bike for the price.
It's sort of, it blows you away, you know, and the one that makes me kind of real curious is this whole all-terrain ride mode. And it's like another off-road mode. And I really liked it, all-terrain plus, because that turned everything off then. And it just gives you, the sport power delivery on the road is very strong, and on the dirt, it's still very strong, but the traction, of course, is obviously active, which that can be to a detriment when you want the thing to slide. So I like the all-terrain plus. It was a much more rideable power delivery on the gravel and the dirt, on those stony forest tracks, but ABS and traction control gone.
Right,
it's up
so
to
that's
me,
everything's off. You're
everything's
turning
off.
So when it's on, is the ABS traction control clunky still?
I would say the traction control's not clunky, but it's not as finite as others.
So the top shelf, it's not top shelf traction control, but it still gets there.
Oh, it's more than adequate, bud. The ABS, however, like I was just like this morning, just on a forest road, downhill, and deep corrugations in it and tight corners. And it was, and at that one I was just in plain old off-road mode, not plus. So TC and ABS still active. And she wanted to go straight ahead. The front brake just goes to solid, as you're wanting to slow down,
But you can turn all that off.
You can turn it all off, but that's what the plus modes are. That gives you that option to do it. So it's there, you just got to stop. You got to go back into it, sign the waiver, and off you go again,
So this is an interesting,
tyre pressure monitoring too. It's got I just remembered that, saw that on the dash.
So they're tubeless then?
Yeah, tubeless tyres. But all this is all standard, mate. It's amazing. And like if my 13-year-old niece was here, she could get in and drive all this tech it's got with all the audio. Through the old, you can connect headsets,
connectivity,
your phone,
I can see it there, phone.
Your Wi-Fi setup connection. And
so you can have that. That can be a screen for navigation.
Oh, of course, mate. Absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look, there's.
So what's the price again? Tell me the price of this.
16.5.
16.5 on the road.
That's on the road, mate. That's right away.
Rums.
Yeah, like.
It's an interesting thing. Our economy's pretty tight at the moment, and the people that look at this bike are generally about 40 to 60 years of age. Where they've got a little bit of money to spend, not huge amounts.
Do you think, have you found that they're guys that might have, with all due respect, DR650 riders that might want to step into the modern era, but by spending as few dollars as they have to. And that's the sort of guys that I've seen that have been riding them, in some amount. And I think they're the sort of guys that are just prime customers for it, mate.
So I'm
3-year warranty coverage, they told me, as I was riding out the door down there the other day.
Cow.
Like, it's power outlets, dual power outlets, 12-volt, traditional USB power outlet.
But wait, there's more.
Well, there is, mate. The more I keep looking at it, the more I find. You said the centre stand?
Yeah, I saw
we said
the
that's standard.
Yeah.
The lights.
Yeah,
Oh, really
tell me
good.
about the light.
Freaking ripping. I got into Milford late the other night.
Yeah.
I'll give a free tip here too. Burgerville. Burgerville, the burger shop at Myrtleford. What a great name for a burger shop, and it lives up to its name. But yeah, came in there in the dark. So the standard headlight high beam is a ripper.
Yes.
And then the little, well, I think they're more fog driving lights.
Yeah.
Their beam is down really low.
Yeah.
So it was doing the close side of the road, and then the high beam was the long shot down the tar. You know, even that was good. Yeah.
So you're gonna give this the big V, I think, aren't you? For value.
Oh, it's mega value.
MV.
Oh, well, mate, you name me. Like, we're all getting towy. Like, so, you know, I've had heaps of time the last 3 days riding this around thinking, oh, yeah, where's it sit? Where's it at? I'm thinking, I rode the new 800 Suzuki a couple of weeks ago in New Zealand. It's thousands of dollars more.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd say that the Suzuki's got the 21-inch front. It's got shower suspension.
Yeah.
It's got longer travel. It's got a smoother motor. I will call that for sure. Smoother power delivery, smoother fueling.
Yes.
But it's thousands of dollars more again.
Yeah.
You know, then I think, oh, hang on, now we've got the Transalp coming in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes,
We get to ride that,
yeah.
and all the rumours there. It's, you know, it's a $15,000 bike plus on roads.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it won't have all the fruit that this will, but it will have a 21-inch front.
Yeah.
You know, it will. Yeah, and you know, it'll be a Honda.
Yeah.
Honda reliability,
Yes.
etc. But you know, it's.
Mate.
Oh, look! I say to people, just like look at it. Don't disregard it because it's an unknown Chinese brand, Chinese name. You know, they've got such a good rep with all their ATVs, UTVs, and you know what cowcockies are like.
Yeah.
You know, they won't take to a product if it's not going to do the job that they need, and that's the ultimate test of reliability and reputation.
So, you know, when you think about, you know, most of Australian riding conditions, and if you're not going on one of those really hard-edged adventures, you could probably easily and comfortably do 95% of Australia on this bike.
Easily will do.
Yep.
Easily will do.
Yep.
You know, the only time that I had an issue with it is the tyre, the front tyre, when I wanted to go off-road. And I reckon those few times, like around Bright, the trails that you and I did up on the top of old Snake Canyon up there. You know, again, it was wet, it was greasy. You know, a knobby tyre would have just helped, and a 21
tyres,
would be...
what are tyres? I mean, they're 3 weeks riding.
Few $100, mate.
And you got new tyres.
Yeah, correct.
I don't regard tyres as part of the equation when we assess bikes because, you know, most of the bikes, you know, anyone that gives us a bike generally puts good off-road tyres on it anyway.
Well, the core with this one was that, you know, and this is what I said with CF Moto, first one out of the crate, I want it, I'm going. Mate. Let's just do it. And it's box stock, and this is it, you know, it's, the
big V.
Oh, look at it, you're right, mate. It's the value add package, this one.
And Bandit's missed you, like
Bandit.
literally.
Oh, poor little Bandit. He's been at the vet all week while I've been away, having his guts worked on.
Hey, Bandit.
Little Bandit.
Bandit got his tummy shaved.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Good to see you, boy.
Well, Clubby, thanks so much for I've literally run round here. Tanya said, he's going through the harbour tunnel now. He'll be here in 5 minutes.
Everywhere. I've got no secrets, mate.
And I've come rushing down here because I thought there'll be interest in this. And it's really important for people to see everything that's out there. And mate, I've got to say, you seem a lot more excited about this one.
Well, the thing has been, Dave, like I said, I've done nearly 1,300 Ks in 3 days, and it's been a pleasure. Yeah. That's the thing with it.
That's
you know,
a huge
I felt
call.
comfortable on it. You know, the screen's a good one. You know, and the motor's strong. The suspension's absolutely fine. Yeah, look, it's just a different badge. Up there. That's what it is, mate. You know, for ongoing reliability and that. Well, I keep coming back to their ag bikes and their farm equipment, and they're selling hand over fist. And look, you know, I say to people, if you just have a look at it, go and ride one, guys. That's the ultimate test. Dealers will have them. They'll have demos. Just go and ride one if you're interested. For sure.
All right. Well, I better let you go and pat Bandit.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for doing that on such short notice. And
sweet as.
There you go, Bandit.
I'm home now. I'm home, Bando. I'm home, mate.
Thanks, Clubby. All right, go and have some dinner.
No drama.
See you, mate. Bye.
You're a good boy. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
So he gets his jacket off.
Turn that camera back on. There's more. I've just remembered more that it's got.
What have you forgotten, Clubby?
Down this side. Quickshifter.
It's got a quick shifter.
No,
Get
I'm
out of
pumping
here.
my clutch hand for 3 days, mate.
Oh,
Quick
you're
shifter.
kidding me. Quick shifter.
And you can adjust the position of the gear tip on the lever, which that's ripping for my big
your
boots.
big feet.
And then have a look at the size of that rear brake pedal, Dave.
That's a decent
Like, it's
rear
pretty
brake
big.
pedal.
I hope that's been
That's
Australian steel being used to manufacture.
It looks like a Bavarian bear trap.
Yeah, indeed. And those rubber slots do come out.
Do come out. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn off the camera again.
I'm sure there'll be more that
there'll be
I
more.
haven't thought of, haven't remembered.
CF Moto 800 MT.
Explore Edition.
The Explorer Edition.
Top shelf, and it's only 16.5 grand.
Top shelf at 16 and a
It's
half.
just,
What's the standard model?
oh, mate, I don't know, they probably pay you. Yeah. I don't know, mate, it's crazy, isn't it?
Right, let's get out of here. I'm going to turn this camera off again.